Welcome to Loksatta Yashasvi Bhava. Friends, we'll start with geometric constructions. To understand geometric constructions, we should know the basics of constructions which you have learned in the previous standard. Some basics as I have written here. To construct perpendicular bisectors. We have been doing this right from 6th or 7th standard. Second is to construct angle bisectors. Here I have shown two angles, acute angle and obtuse angle. There is a very common mistake which students make in this. They don't read the question properly whether the angle mentioned is acute angle or obtuse angle. So please be sure if the angle is less than 90 or if the angle is more than 90. Third is to construct a line perpendicular to a given line at any point on the line. Now there are two types here. Either the point is on the line or the point is outside the given line. In both the cases, the type of construction changes, which you already done in 9th standard. Children, as I already told you the basics, some basics, without knowing the basics, you cannot do the sums further in 10th standard. So I would request, if your base of 9th standard is not clear, please see to it that you once again practice the whole thing. At least whatever is required for 10th standard, that much amount of base you should always have. Now, in 10th standard, the first construction that we have and the type of sums which comes for 3 marks normally is to construct a circumcircle. Now let us see how to construct a circumcircle here. First, whatever the sum is given, based on that you draw the triangle. Sometimes two sides may be given, one angle may be given, two angles may be given, one side may be given. So whatever the type of triangle that they have set, you draw the triangle first. So that would be the step 1 for drawing circumcircle. Construct the triangle. The second step that follows is draw the perpendicular bisector. Children, this is the point where you require that base, where I have already mentioned to draw the perpendicular bisector. Now while drawing the perpendicular bisector, you have to draw the perpendicular bisector of two sides. Not necessary that you have to draw all the 3 sides here. So here I have shown the perpendicular bisector of this side and this side here. Now the perpendicular bisectors, wherever they meet, we call that point as the circumcenter. Now the circumcenter, from the point of the circumcenter, we have to draw a circle keeping the vertex, keeping the pencil on the vertex of the triangle. We will draw a complete circle. I repeat, there are 3 steps which has to be considered, and based on these 3 steps you get the marks in the board, that is 3 marks. Now let us see the steps again. Draw the triangle based on the given information of the question. Second, draw the perpendicular bisector of any 2 sides. Third, wherever the perpendicular bisectors meet, that point is called as the circumcenter. Keep the needle of your compass at the circumcenter, pencil on the vertex of the triangle, and then draw a complete circle. This question normally comes for 3 marks. Second question that normally comes in the board for 3 marks is to construct and encircle. Now again, there are 3 steps which has to be considered. Step number 1, construct the triangle as whatever the given question demands. Second, step 2, construct the angle bisectors. From the basics, as I have already told, you have to know to draw the angle bisectors here. Mind you, the angle bisectors need not be of the 3 vertices. It can be only of 2 vertices. Now after you draw the angle bisectors of the 2 vertices, the point that you get is what we call as the incenter. The incenter, keeping the needle at the incenter, but before that there is one difference between a circumcircle and encircle. After knowing the basics, let us start with the first construction, that is constructing the circumcircle. Now this question normally comes for 3 marks in the board examination. Now as I have been constantly telling you, without knowing the basics it's not proper to draw constructions. So please refer your 9th standard basics for constructions here. Now let us see how to draw the circumcircle. There are 3 steps involved, and as I told you, 3 marks. Step 1, draw the triangle based on the information given in the question. Step 1, draw the triangle based on the information given in the question. Step 2, draw the perpendicular bisector. The point where the perpendicular bisectors meet is called as the circumcenter. Remember that the perpendicular bisectors had to be drawn for any two sides. you may not draw it for the third side. Now, after you get the circumcenter, keep the needle at the circumcenter and pencil at the vertex of the triangle. Needle at the circumcenter, pencil at the vertex of the triangle, and then you draw a complete circle. I repeat, to draw a circumcircle, there are 3 steps and 3 marks. Step 1, draw the triangle as per the given information. Draw the triangle as per the given information. Step 2, draw the perpendicular bisectors. The point where the perpendicular bisectors meet, it's called as the circumcenter. Step 3, keep the needle at the circumcenter, pencil at the vertex of the triangle, and draw a complete circle. Now friends, let's go on to the next topic, that is constriction of an encircle. Now, while drawing an encircle, there are 3 things to be considered. There are 3 things to be considered, just as we had step 1, step 2 and step 3 for a circumcircle, we have 3 steps for an encircle. Now, first step, as we know, constriction of triangle based on the given information. Constriction of triangle based on the given information. Step 2, draw an angle bisector. Remember that in circumcircle, we had a perpendicular bisector. In an encircle, we have an angle bisector. So we draw angle bisectors of any 2 vertex. The point where the angle bisectors meet is called as an incenter. The point where an angle bisectors meet is called as an incenter. Now, there is a slight variation from what we did in circumcenter here and the circumcircle. The variation here is, we draw a perpendicular from the incenter onto the circle, and keeping the needle at the incenter, we cut an arc and make a perpendicular here on the base. After that, we keep the needle at the incenter, the point where it intersects, we draw a complete encircle here. I repeat again, for circumcircle as well as encircle, first step remains the same, as you see, constriction of triangle. Second step changes, as you see here, here we are drawing a perpendicular bisector, here we are drawing an angle bisector. Here we get a circumcenter, here we get an incenter. Now, after we get the circumcenter here, we draw a complete circle. But here, we draw a perpendicular to the base, and from there we keep the pencil and draw an encircle. Both the sums normally come for 3 marks. My dear children, it would be better to draw a circumcircle if given a choice, because normally what I observe is that students find it difficult to draw an encircle, and the encircle normally doesn't touch the triangle properly. Either it goes out or it comes inside the circle, and in either side it doesn't touch the sides of the triangle. It becomes slightly difficult. So I would request you to prefer a circumcircle. If there is a choice between a circumcircle and an encircle, please prefer a circumcircle. After discussing circumcircle and encircle, let us now discuss constriction of tangents. Now, there are 3 ways of drawing the tangents which you have got in your question paper. The first type is when the point is on the circle. The second type is when the point is outside the circle. And third type of tangent which you have got to know is without using the center. Now, let us see the first type, when the point is on the circle. This question normally comes for 2 marks. First, you have to draw a circle, and let us say P is any point on the circle here. P is any point on the circle. What we do is, whatever the circle, measure of the circle is given, radius is given, we take that measure, we draw a complete circle, join the center to that point where you want the tangent, and extend that line. I repeat, draw the circle with the given measure of radius. From that point, you draw, from the center, you draw to that point a straight line and extend that line. After you extend the line, keep the needle at the point on the circle, that is point P. From point P, cut an arc on both sides, and from those 2 arcs, you join and make a perpendicular bisector, as you know. The line passes through point P, which is on the circle. This is the first type of constriction for tangents, which comes normally for 2 marks. The second type of constriction that you have is when the given point is outside the circle. Now here if you see, point P is outside the circle. Here point P was on the circle. Now, when the point P is outside the circle, draw the circle with whatever measure of the radius is given. Join the center to that point, that is join OP. After joining OP, draw the perpendicular bisector of OP. We get a point M here. Now, after drawing the perpendicular bisector, that is after you get the point M here, keep the needle at point M and the pencil at point O and cut an arc on the circle here. Some teachers draw a complete circle here. It varies from person to person, but here either you draw an arc or you draw a complete circle. Wherever the circles meet, there you join the point P and you get 2 tangents here, as you can see here. The third part or the third type for drawing tangents is without using the center. Now here, let's say there is a point K which is on the circle. Let's say there is a point K which is on the circle. I want a tangent on point K. What we do is, we take 2 points other than point K on the circle, that is point M and point L. I join LK and I join MK and LM to get a triangle. After I get a triangle here, we use the property of angles in alternate segment concept, which you have in arcs of circle. Now, using the angles in alternate segment concept, what we do is measure the angle M and same measure we draw an angle at point K. Now, based on angles in alternate segment, angle LMK will be congruent to LKX here. Now, this point we draw a tangent here. Now, if you see, there are 3 ways of drawing the tangents: when the point is on the circle, when the point is outside the circle, and tangent to be drawn without using the center. The first type comes for 2 marks, second type normally comes for 3 or 4 marks, and the last one comes for 4 marks. After knowing circumcircle, encircle, and the 3 types of tangents that you have, now let us come on to construction of an arc. Now these questions normally come for again 3, 4 or 5 marks. Now let us see how. For the construction of arc, we normally prefer to have 3 conditions. 1, the angle given is greater than 90 in the question. Second, the angle given is less than 90 in the question. And third, if the angle given is equal to 90. Now, if the angle given is greater than 90, then we have 120 minus 90. For example, the angle that I have taken here is 120. If the angle, now 120 is greater than 90. So 120 minus 90, that gives me 30. So what I do is, that difference I take it down. And the angle, remember, angle AOB comes down below the given line. Whatever the given line, when we do the example, you will come to know clearly. Whatever the given line, the angle O comes down and the arc comes up. If the angle is less than 90, if you observe, angle O comes above the base and the arc also comes above the base. The third condition, if the angle is equal to 90, then we have O coming on the line itself, on the base. I repeat, if you check the positions of O, you will come to know very clearly. If the angle is greater than 90, O comes below the base. If the angle is less than 90, O comes above the base. And if the angle is equal to 90, the point O comes on the base. This is a major difference that you will observe in this type of sums. Everything is based on the angle that is given. So children, be sure of and be sure to read the question properly, whether the angle given is more than 90, less than 90 or equal to 90. Now let us see some examples. I have taken two examples. Constriction of triangle, when three things are given. The base of the triangle is given, angle opposite to the base is given, that is theta is given, and altitude, that is the height of the triangle is given. I repeat, we are taking the type of sum where the base is given, angle opposite to the base is given, and the height is given. Now I have taken two examples here. If you see, let's read the example simultaneously. We will come to know the difference, what I am talking about. Constrict triangle RST. Here we have got constrict triangle SPQ. So both are constriction of triangle itself. If you see the base here, RT is 5.7. Here the base SQ is 8.3. So base, whatever the length, but the base is given to us. You see the angle here now. Here angle RST is 55 degree. Here angle SPQ is 127 degree. Now this is the very common mistake that children commit. Be very sure of what the angle given is, because remember, based on the angle, the type of diagram or the type of construction will change, as I have already told you. So here angle RST is 55 degree, angle SPQ is 127. Here the angle given is less than 90. So it is this type of figure that normally will come. Here the angle given is more than 90. So therefore this type of figure will come. So be sure of the type of figure that comes. It will totally depend on the angle. So let us see the first sum as I have mentioned. Now if you read the sum properly, constrict triangle RST. RT is 5.7 centimeter. Angle RST is 55 degree. SD is perpendicular to RT. SD is equal to 3.4 centimeter. Now here if you see, SD is perpendicular to RT. It means SD is the altitude of the triangle. Now let us see what is the base given. The base given is RT 5.7 centimeter. Angle RST, that is angle opposite to the base, 55 degree, and the altitude 3.4 centimeter. So we know three conditions here: the base, angle opposite to the base, and the altitude. Now let us see how to draw this. First we draw the base, but before that we should calculate the difference between, as I told you, if the angle is less than 90, it is 90 minus the given angle. So 90 minus 55, that's 35 here. Now 35 degree, what we do is we take the base. The base, if you see, RT is 5.7, we take 5.7 here. Whatever the difference comes, that angle we will take here, 35 degree. After taking 35 degree, wherever the point meets, that point we named it as O. As I already told you, when the angle is less than 90, O comes above the base. So this is the point O. Now the second step is, keep the needle at O and the pencil at the vertex of any of the part of the base, and you draw an arc, keeping O as the center. Now when you draw an arc, after you draw this arc, we extend the base on both sides. Some teachers, they extend the base on one side. It's also correct. Now here, after extending the base on both sides, draw the perpendiculars. The altitude given to us, SD, is 3.4. So what I do is, I cut an arc of 3.4 centimeter here, and then I join it. When I join it, that point where it cuts the arc, we call this point as S and this point as S dash. Now we join the triangle RST. After we join the triangle RST, from S we draw a perpendicular to the base. I repeat again. First 90 minus the given angle, whatever the angle comes, you take that. Then draw the base, take that angle, measure it and draw it to get a point O here. O will come above the line since the angle is less than 90. Keeping the needle at O and the pencil at the point of the base, you draw an arc. After you draw an arc, on either side you extend the base and then draw a perpendicular. After you draw the perpendicular, cut an arc of height 3.4 centimeter, what is mentioned in the question, and then join it. Wherever the line meets on the arc, we call that point as point S and S dash. We draw a triangle and then we draw a height. Now same way we have something else. If you see in this question, base was given, angle opposite to the base was given, and altitude was given. Same type of one more question in a slight different way. Here the base is given, angle opposite to the base is given, but instead of altitude, the median is given. The basic difference is, here we know the altitude, here we know the median. Now let us see what happens when we get a median instead of an altitude. Let us see this sum here. Construct triangle LMN such that LM is equal to 6.6, that is the base. Base is given to us. Angle opposite to the base is given to be 65 degree. And median is given. Median, the length of the median is 5 centimeter. The basic rule remains the same as the previous one. First, whatever the given angle, we subtract it. 90 minus 65. That is 25 degree. Now, we draw the base LM. How much is it? 6.6 centimeter. As I told you, 90 minus 65 is equal to 25. We take 25 on both sides of the base. The vertex O, that's point O. I have been constantly telling you, if the angle is less than 90, O will come above the line. Now, draw an arc here. After we draw an arc, we draw the perpendicular bisector. And after drawing the perpendicular bisector, we take the length of the median, that is how much? 5 centimeter. We cut an arc, keeping here at this point where the perpendicular bisector meets the base. Here, from here we cut an arc of 5 centimeter on both sides. We mark this point as N, and this point we can mark it as N dash. We join the triangle and we get the median to be ND here and the triangle LMN here. The basic difference, if you see, between an altitude and a median that we draw is that in an altitude we have the base extended on both sides. But if you observe in the median, we don't extend the base on both sides. Here we don't draw the perpendicular bisector, but here we draw a perpendicular bisector. Let us see construction of similar triangles. Now this type of questions normally comes for 4 marks. There are 2 types of sums that we can observe here. One, the triangles are similar. Triangle RKN is similar to triangle SPV here. But what you can observe is there is no common vertex or no common side. RKN and SPV have no common side. Now let us see this sum. Triangle RKN similar to triangle SPV. In triangle RKN, RK is 6.4, angle R is 60 degree, angle K is 50 degree. And the ratio of Rn upon SV is given to be 4 upon 3. What do? We first take into consideration that both the triangles are similar, which is given to us in the question. Therefore, RK upon SP is equal to Kn upon PV is equal to Rn upon SV is equal to 4 upon 3. That is corresponding sides of similar triangles. We take the ratio and we find SP to be 4.8 here. Same way, angle R will be congruent to angle S and angle K will be congruent to angle P. Corresponding angles of similar triangles. Now, if you observe, we know all the details of both the triangles RKN and SPV required to draw the triangle. So, we know RK is 6.4, which is given in the question, and we know angle R is 60 and angle K is 50 from here. We have already proved it. Same way, SP is 4.8, we already calculated. Angle S is 60 and angle P is 50. We got it from here. Now, though we can make the triangles like this, you have to remember that this condition is possible only when there are no common points. RKN and SPV triangle, both the triangles do not have a common point. Therefore, this type of method is possible. There is one more method where we have a common point. Let us see in this sum. Triangle PSE similar to triangle TSV. Now if you observe, there is a common point here. Here also we have got point S, here also we have got point S. Now whatever the details given, PS is 4.4, SE is 5.1 centimeter, P is 5.5 centimeter, and the ratio PS upon TS is given to be 5 upon 3. Now, the first thing that I got to consider is the base. PS is 4.4 centimeter. But remember, always take the common point on your left hand side here. The reason why, that we'll come to know later. But right now, remember that the common point here, triangle PSC and triangle TSV has a common point, that is point S. So we take point S on this side. Now, let's see what is done. PS is given to be 4.4 centimeter. We take PS to be 4.4 centimeter. SE is given to be 5.1 and P is given to be 5.5. So we draw a triangle based on the given information. Now, after drawing the triangle PSE, we take angle around 30 to 40 degree. Normally teachers prefer to take 30 to 40 degree, that would be more better. So you take 30 to 40 degree, you can take 30 degree or 35 degree or 40 degree. Ideal normally teachers find is 40 degree. So you take 40 degree here, and after getting here, what we do is we divide into 5 equal parts. Now the question is, why 5 equal parts? Because if you see, the ratio is PS upon TS is given to be 5 upon 3. So here PS is 5 parts, so we divide it into 5 equal parts. After dividing it into 5 equal parts, what we do here, see the figure here, triangle is here, we are drawn, the ratio is supposed to be 5:3, PS upon TS. Now here PS is 5, so here we have marked it as S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. So the fifth part, PS5 is joined here, and the third part, that is here, we join it with dotted lines. After joining the third part and the fifth part with dotted lines, depending on the ratio given here, we join PE and VT such a way that we have to get VT parallel to PE. I repeat again, we have got a triangle here, we take 30 or 40 degree and extend it, we mark it into 5 equal parts. The ratio is given as 5 upon 3. So we take 5 parts, the fifth part is taken as here and the third part is here. We take both the lines parallel, and after taking the line parallel, from PE we draw a triangle line segment VT. From this point we join here parallel line. That becomes the third part. So you see here triangle PSE, PSE, this is the triangle, and TSV. Same way, I taken one more sum here for your observation. Construct triangle LMN and triangle LQP. Now here, if you see, L is the common point for both the triangles. Now if L is the common point for both the triangles, remember that L has to come on the left side, which I already mentioned here also. L should come on the left side. Because the common point in both the triangles should come on the left side. Now, after you get it, what we do is, we draw the triangle, mention triangle LMN as per the given information. We extend L1, L2, L3 up till 7 parts. Why 7 parts? Because here, if you see, the ratio is 4 upon 7. So we extend it to 7 parts. For better understanding, I have taken a sum here. Let's see this sum again. Construct triangle LMN and triangle LQP. Now in triangle LMN, LM is given to be 3.6 centimeter, angle L is 50, LN is 4.2 centimeter, LM upon LQ, the ratio is 4 upon 7. So what do the common point here, if you observe, is point L. So we take L on the left side here, we draw the triangle LMN as per the given information, and we extend L1, L2, L3 up till L7. We extend the base Ln, and from L7 we join a line here. After this, the parallel lines, since the ratio is 4 upon 7, we join 2 parallel lines here, and based on this parallel line we construct the line PQ. Now apart from this, if you see, we have done the 2 types of construction of similar triangles. First is when there is no common points between the 2 triangles, and the second method that we have is there is a common point between the 2 triangles. This type of sums normally come for 4 or 5 marks. So dear friends, through the video discussion we have studied construction of circumcircle for 3 marks, construction of encircle which again is of 3 marks, drawing of tangents on the circle when the point is on the circle, when the point is outside the circle, and drawing the tangent without using the center. I have written the marks here. For the first one, it's 2 marks type. When the point is outside the circle, it's 3 or 4 marks. when the point without using the center, when we have to draw the tangent, it's of 4 marks. The next is construction of triangles when 3 conditions are given. That is, the base is given, angle opposite base is given, altitude of the median is given. In that case, the sums will be based on 3 to 4 marks. And construction of similar triangles, the last type, which normally comes for 4 marks. So here is the marks distribution that I wanted to mention here. Please, you can go through it for once. Dear friends, always what happens is, while drawing constructions, there are certain mistakes which the students commit. Let us see those mistakes. So I just mentioned here, before construction, remember some things. First, read question properly. When I say read questions properly means, read the measurements properly, read the segments, whatever segment or point is given, you be clear of it. Second is, avoid any form of unwanted cancellations, over sketching or double lining. Normally it is observed that in spite of the fact that a line is drawn, you overwrite on that. Please avoid it and use a sharp pencil. Naming the points and lines correctly. This is something which is important. After drawing the constructions, see to it that you have named all the points or the lines or the measurements of the lines is properly and clearly mentioned. Draw perpendicular signs, especially for perpendicular bisectors. Now this is something which is another common mistake that is observed. You forget to mark the perpendicular signs or the perpendicular bisector signs. Remember, whenever you are supposed to draw a circumcircle, you have to draw a perpendicular bisector. And whenever you have to draw an encircle, you have to draw an angle bisectors. Students commit mistake here. When they are told to draw the encircle, they sometimes commit the mistake of drawing the perpendicular bisector. So please see to it that this is very common mistake which is normally observed. And last one, when you draw neatly with a sharp pencil, you have to always draw it with a sharp pencil. And the last point here is, draw neatly with sharp pencils. It is normally observed that whenever you draw, you use wrong erasers or wrong type of pencils which has got thick tip, and that results in wrong form of constructions. So dear friends, we have completed geometry constructions through video discussions and articles. In case of any doubt, you can contact loksatta.com or Yashasvi Bhava.